Good morning and welcome back. Trinidad and Tobago. The Yoruba Village Drum Festival is held annually on the day before Father's Day in tribute to the fathers of the community. Now, the Emancipation Support Committee will present the Keeper of the Tradition Award at the festival. Very, very exciting times. Here to tell us more about that, we have the Executive Director of the Emancipation Support Committee, Trinidad and Tobago, Zakia Wadada, and also the Lady of the Moment is here with us as well, Sister Ava. She's the recipient of the Keeper of the Tradition Award. She's a dancer, a poet, she's a chanter, storyteller, cultural activist, and the list goes on. Ladies, welcome and good morning. So, congratulations to you, first of all. What was your experience? Were you surprised that you were going to be receiving this award?
Yes, I was really surprised because it's not like I was doing something looking for something. It came natural. It's a lot of hard work over the years, but you love it and you just do it. And it's surprising to see someone looking at you from conception of when you started to just, and Zakia and I really good, and we will talk ever so often, and I had no idea this was going to materialize. I didn't look for it at all. So yes, I was surprised.
All right. So how do you feel about her contribution to the entire Emancipation Support Committee and culture as it pertains to us here in Trinidad and Tobago?
Again, good morning to all your viewers. The Keeper of the Tradition Award is really given to someone who has dedicated most of their life to really ensuring that our cultural traditions are practiced, not only by themselves, but also they work with young people. And Ava has not only worked in the community, within the Yoruba village community, which of course is what we know as East Port of Spain, Belmont, Gonzales, Mover. That space was once called Yoruba Town. A lot of people are not aware of that. And that is why we call the festival the Yoruba Village, because it is held in this square that is called the Yoruba Village Square. But Ava has worked within that community. She's worked in the orphanages, she's worked in the prisons, using her art to help bring about transformation, to assist in the development of young people. And she has had drumline right at the corner of Charlotte Street and Observatory Street, really assisting the young ones in the community. So her work and just her being has been intended to ensure that our African traditions remain present in our minds and that we also pass it on to our young people.
Well, we're very curious, Sister Ava. What inspired you or led you to take part or, just make such a contribution and a dedication to the young people?
Okay, I think first, my mother. I grew up in a home where this is natural. Back in the day, your house open and the whole community could come and hang, eat a food, who playing drums, who playing a pan, who telling stories. And she accommodated that. My father, on the other hand, was that kind of person as well. They lived separately. But, I looked at their lives, not knowing that I was looking at it through a microscope, And that inspired me. And even when I went to they would say the junior secondary schools are not I don't want to say tush, but they call it the right. Just being there and watching the dedication of the teachers, because I started to play pan in Form 1 in Diego Martin Junior Sec with Mr. Selwyn Taradat, and the influence was Phase 2 pan groove at the time, and so you're bouncing off with Bugsy Sharp and at the time the Miss Plummer, and you're looking at all these local artists, these legends, and they're there and they're giving you that time, and that inspired me a lot. And I didn't just want it to learn for myself. I always had a habit, if I learn this now, I go in and pass that on with the next hand. And it's second nature to me. So it wasn't anything to say, all right, I'm going to plan this and down the road, I'll reap, it's just doing it with the love,
What has your experience been working with these young people?
Awesome. I rather work with the young people because their minds are open. The young people are hungry we feed them all kinds of crap on not just the electronic media, but in the whole, let's say, society. We have them like puppets. The clothes they wear, the food they eat, the music they hear. And we tend to think that this is what they want. And when you get in a position where you bounce off or you have a rap session with them, it's totally different. They need more. They want more. And I feel that it's a beautiful experience when you could sit with or you could work with the younger people and you could achieve, even if you save if it's 10, and you could just say, all right, I'm going to save at least about 6. And you see them stand out later on. You know, you feel a sense of joy, a sense of pride. It is beautiful to work with them.
What is your vision?
My vision, a school. I want to see a school where we can teach culture, traditional culture, yes, academics, but we tend to put all our children in the same zone. And I could use an example from me. My parents and my family had high hopes and high dreams for me. While they were trying to teach me to play the piano, I wanted to play the steel pan. While they were trying to teach me classical dance, I would run away and go up on the beatum and look for Lavanti and dance to the drum. And when I look at my own children, I see that I understand what is their strengths and what is their weaknesses. And I am able to say, okay, let me enhance their strengths and try to push them in that area. Unfortunately, I don't have the finances to do as I really need to, but I tend to look at you as a person and take from that and, you know, try to push you along that path.
Well, we continue to look for great things from you, Sister Alva. So let's talk a little bit about the Yoruba Village Drum Festival. What is on the agenda?
Okay, well, I want to let everyone know that this is our 10th anniversary. So we feel very special. That's for the first time as well that we are also honoring or giving this award to a female. It's the first female to receive the award. So she's making her own history.
Yes.
And on this, the 10th anniversary of the Drum Festival. The Drum Festival was conceptualized as a way of, one, sensitizing our public and that particular community about the history of the Yoruba village, you know, because a lot of people live there don't even know it was once called Yoruba Town and why. And as part of that, we have created this little brochure, very beautiful little brochure that tells us a little bit about the Yoruba village community. I will leave it with you, right? And about the why it is called the Yoruba village. You see, once that they had abolished the slave trade. You would have plunderers would still go to the continent and take up our brothers and sisters and bring them to the Caribbean illegally at that time and try to also continue to sell them as slaves. And what would happen that because the trade was abolished by the British, they would intercept these vessels and take the Africans off of the vessels. And a lot of them at that time were Yoruba-speaking people, and they were just taken off the vessels and left in that area of Port of Spain. So that area of Port of Spain was actually built up by free African Yoruba-speaking people. And they occupied that whole area, Belmont, Gonzales, Mova, you know, what we call Bitam and all of those areas. And if we also check our cultural history, it is also the birthplace of Pan. I mean, some people might contest, but we have a lot of the origins of Pan in that community. We have a lot of our Calypsonians came out of that community. The community of the Yoruba village has always been very rich in culture. They've always been struggling and trying to, to fight against the oppressions. You know, that is the space of the Kambuli, the fight against our not being able to have carnival, you know. So the community is a very special space in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, in the heart and spirit of Trinidad and Tobago. And we think that the community, even though troubled as well, you know, and of course there are so many reasons for that which we don't have time to go into, but we use this time to pay tribute to the ancestors who are responsible for the rich cultural heritage that we have in that community. And it is also done the day before Father's Day. So we also give a tribute to the fathers of the community. And also, because it is very close to the 16th of June, this year it is actually falling on the exact day, but Father's Day fall always close to that. 16th of June is the International Day of the African Child. And the reason why that day was dedicated to the African child, because it is also the day on which the children were killed in the massacre in Soweto in South Africa as part of their own struggle against apartheid. So you find that, and so therefore we look into the community to see a young female or male who have excelled, and we give them a special award in recognition of the International Day of the African Child. So all of that happens at the Drum Festival. We have lots of drummers. We have our spoken word artists. They know that rap, that as one of them would say, the voice is also a drum, you know, and we do invite the representatives from the community, the mayor of Port of Spain, the ambassadors, the South African and Nigerian ambassadors, and they would come, of course, and bring their love and greetings. And we have a wonderful time. So we really want everyone, particularly persons in the community, come out and let's really celebrate ourselves and celebrate that community.
You said come out and celebrate ourselves. In the past, have they really been coming out? Do you see that pride?
Well, growing over the years, you know, it has taken time. Quite a few of the drumming groups are from within the Yoruba village community, and over the years, we are seeing more and more people will come out. So most of the times, late in the evening, they will come and maybe just stand up outside of the square and so on, because we alone fill up the square, because it's a very small square with all the drummers and the artists. You know, you do have the war in those communities. You know, we actually had a young awardee, a young brother who we had given the award as part of the UN Day of the Day of the African Child. And he wasn't able to come. He was afraid to come because he didn't want to cross that border. So we had to go and get a car, take him, bring him, give him the award, and make sure he got back home. So there's still that sensitivity in the community. What we are happy to say is that there's never been any incident while we are there. So we still see it as a unifying space, and everybody is free to come out. But, you know, the communities have those sensitivities still. So the people are cautious, you know, but it is in the community. And we do a little walk with the drums and and flags and so around the community. So we carry the energy. And, of course, they can hear. We are in the space, you know, and we're right there by the plannings, we're right across from Beetham. So we are in this space, and even though people may not feel safe physically to come out, we still feel that they are part of it.
That sounds wonderful. So walk us through the calendar of events for the 2018 Pan-African Festival.
Yes, well, as you know, a lot of persons don't realize how much we have to do, but we start off with the Drum Festival on the 16th, which is on Saturday, and then we launch the Kwame Memorial Lecture Series on the 24th of June, which is next week Sunday. Sorry, no, the Drum Festival is on Saturday, I'm sorry. So next week Sunday, we launch the Kwame Memorial Lecture Series, which has been followed by a number of films as part of the film festival. And then we are very happy and excited about Purus Africa, which is our annual African fashion show. And this year we have moved from the Normandy and we are going into the Central Bank, and we're going to be having a fantastic cultural presentation. So it's not just going to be like models, it is going to be integrated into a fantastic African cultural presentation of African beauty and fashion. And then from that, the festival then runs through the film festival, runs through the week of July. And we are doing a film on Winnie Mandela, because she just past, and you know, she was a friend of the organization. And we are also going to end with a film on Nelson Mandela, because this year was his 100th birthday anniversary.
Wow.
And we are collaborating with the South African ambassador to present that, you know. In between, we're also going to do one on Martin Luther King, because this year was a special anniversary for him as well. So the movies are going to be very interesting, and they're always followed by discussion. And of course, on the 22nd of July, we head for the Savannah. We start with the Blessing of the Ground, and from Saturday the 28th of July, we open the village. This year we're having a very special opening, because we are opening in the morning and not in the evening. So at 10 a.m. on the 28th of July, we will have a grand opening of the Yasu Omowale Emancipation Village, followed by Rhythms and Voices in Africa, and then our youth concert. And then we have Family Day on Sunday with our pan, young people pan, big people pan, and then so we move on, Youth Day on the Monday. We're going to do a special tribute to composer this year, Shikumu composer, brother composer. And we have our Pan-African concert, and then it's Emancipation Day, Freedom Morning come, and then our grand procession.
A lot to look forward to.
A lot to look forward
Unfortunately,
to.
out of time though.
Yes, I'm
but
sure.
I appreciate having you here.
Thank you so
Congratulations
much.
once again. History in the making, first female to receive this award. Congratulations. A pleasure having you.
Thank
well,
you.
We take a short break for the news. Stay tuned.